Everybody, welcome to the Plastic Empire podcast. I'm Bill Singh.
I'm Alan Kaplan, and Pedro Rodriguez will hopefully be with us shortly.
Today we have a special guest. We have Jason Bienvenu from Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Now, this Kickstarter is ending in about 24 hours, so we wanted to have him on. Last push to get this Kickstarter funded, and we want to let him tell you all what's going on, what you can do to help out, and get you excited. Because I'll tell you what, if you're not excited about this and the future of this Kickstarter and this toy line, I don't know, man. Something's wrong with you. So,
hey
Jason,
guys, how's it going?
What's up?
Oh man, we are in the final 24 hours of the Kickstarter.
Thick of it, the thick of it.
We could see the goalpost, but we're not quite there yet, and I just want to keep up that momentum so we can hit goal and have some margaritas.
Now you showed me a graphic of what you have recently been trying to push here, and that is the $20 buy-in there. You get one. You could either pick a figure or a T-shirt. Explain.
Right. Well, we were just saying, like, you know, since we're a new intellectual property, if you want to just kind of give it a sample, if we can get people that just want to sample a figure, if they're not into figures but they want to, you know, help out an indie toy company, they can get a T-shirt, and it's just a great little way for us to kind of help push and make goal, you know.
Yeah. Now, you know, everybody out there, 90% of the people out there, probably buying coffee every day. You know, you can easily, with the cost of what, 4 coffees?
Yeah, it's like 4 grandes, and you can get yourself an action figure.
There you go. That's some beat, overpriced coffee shop, you know.
Oh yeah.
You
know what? Oh my God! Like in Louisiana, when you go to the coffee shops, they upsell stuff.
Oh, dude.
And I always get like I get a light drink with like skim milk, and they're like, "Would you like a chocolate chip muffin with that?" And I'm like, "I don't want a freaking chocolate chip muffin. Like I would tell you that if I wanted that."
How about buying a damn figure from Jason, huh?
Yeah. Watch it. Let me sell you something. I'll have your figure at the window.
AWOC.
Yeah, we started the AWOC hashtag.
Hashtag AWOC.
AWOC, like Ewok, but with an A.
But I mean, listen, you're trying to do some big things here, and we definitely want to help support you. And you know, we've been sharing and bringing you on, and you know, I'm behind this line. You got the first wave itself is awesome. You got Pale, who's the lead
Thanks
character.
so much.
Yeah, I mean, he's the lead character. He's the albino chimp, right? I want to make sure I'm
right. These are all chimps right now. There's the smaller body type, which is Pale.
Right.
They all feature 18 points of articulation, and then the villain. Right. I mean, you can really pose these guys. You can do all kind of cool action poses with them. So if you're just an adult collector, it's perfect for that type of thing. And if you have kids, they're great cross-play for Ninja Turtles. The weapons are Hax compatible, G.I. Joe compatible. And you know what? I gotta say, whenever I got in the Kali, that bigger, buffer body type,
right.
I thought I was like, Hale was my favorite, but once I got into the villain, I was just like, oh my God, like I couldn't stop playing with him, and it's so funny and surreal to be holding characters that you created first as a comic and then transitioned into, you know, physical action figure form.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I want the next wave as well. Wave 2 is what, the cats and
canines. Yeah, canines and birds. There's going to be a bat variant. You know what? I cannot. I'm trying not to start doing control art on those birds and the bat yet, but I've got an idea for a ball joint foot that I can't wait to draw that up. And I was also trying to figure out how to make a feathered hand work to where it can hold a weapon.
Right.
And I figured that out also. It's going to be kind of similar to where the barbell that the Hacks figures have on the head and the neck. It's going to be similar to that in the thumb. So it'll kind of allow the thumb to hold on to their weapons and also function like a wing. Yeah, so we've got a lot of really cool stuff planned out, and this first wave will kind of help us kind of get the ball rolling, so to speak.
Jason, this new tooling that you mentioned, are you planning this for the first wave, or this is for future waves?
I'm sorry, for which figures?
The new tooling you just mentioned, yeah.
That's going to be for wave 2.
Okay.
Going forward, each wave will either introduce 2 new species or consist of a deluxe figure. So the next wave will be the bird, bat, and canine. And then wave 3 will be our deluxe figure wave, which will consist of gorillas, a bison, and bears.
That bison and bear, man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, those
are so fun to draw. Oh, and you know what? Another thing, I don't know how. I need to get you guys the comic book, but even though they're all kind of intelligent animals, some of them kind of ride each other. So the gorilla, the bison, and the bear will be able to position themselves to where they can be kind of a mount. You know,
oh, really?
They'll have a swivel in the neck joint so the head can face, upwards. And the same thing with the birds, so that when they're flying, they'll be able to look straight ahead where they're not looking down.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That's little details that people need to hear. I mean,
right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I am a fan too. Like, I love action figures, and I make little notes about stuff that I think our product needs to have. So we want to keep raising the bar and make sure that our products, stand out with all these other great indie toys that are out right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think, Jason, what makes your line very, very unique is that yours is one of the few Kickstarters I've seen for an action figure line where the art, the concept art is almost as big of a deal as the figures themselves, because you normally don't see this kind of detailed art that presents what's coming up.
Right.
And this, I think, whets the appetite so much for what's coming in the future. It's just the art alone.
Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment to me, because that's my main contribution as far as the creative aspect. Because we have sculptors that are making the digital sculpts, but I wanted to give them as much detail as possible. A lot of times they'll ask me, this looks cool in the control art, but I don't know what kind of fabric you want. So I'll go and I'll find fabric, take pictures of it, send it to them, and they're like, oh, okay, I get what this cartoon version needs to translate over into 3D version,
Mm-hmm.
And here's a picture. Here's the bird.
Oh yeah, there's the birds. Yeah, you can see the crows holding a spear. So that'll have that little barbell hinge in it.
Right.
Which I think is going to be pretty cool. And that bat is our little love letter to Battle Beast. Battle Beast bat.
I like that.
I think that was the first Battle Beast that I got. I don't remember who he came with. He came with the chimpanzee with the red armor, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Battle Beasts.
Yeah, I don't know, something about them. I think weren't they like a Transformers spinoff in Japan, but they just kind of made them their own thing in America?
Pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Pedro.
Oh, Pedro.
Hey, I'm back.
What up?
There he is.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yes, that would be Diaclone in Japan.
Yeah, that's right. What's Diaclone?
See that? I learned something.
And the Diaclone and the Microman line and what was the other line? It was Microman. Or was Diaclone? No, it was Diaclone and Microman by Takara.
Pedro knows.
He knows everything. I've heard of them. I didn't know they were Battle Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, and Pedro, you might know this better, when Battle Beast aired their commercials, was that Sunbow animation? Because it looked very familiar. It looked very Sunbow-ish.
Yes.
Dude, it was awesome. Like,
Yes, that was Sunbow.
That was a great commercial.
Yeah,
I love that.
The commercials alone, like, sold the toys. Just those quick commercials.
Awesome.
Water beats rock. Rock beats water.
Hey, commercials back then were great, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What to put
Yeah,
on fire?
Look, marketing back then in general was better. I mean, we're still into it 30 years later.
Oh, yeah.
So it was damn good.
It's funny. It makes you wonder where the disconnect was, why they started doing that type of stuff. But, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that that's kind of what we were going for with our commercials. We wanted that real retro feel and kind of
I was gonna say
some.
the same thing. Yep. I was gonna.
We were trying to build in a nostalgic feel to something that was a new property, and we figured that was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of convey what we were going for, you know.
It was
perfect.
I mean, you got somebody throwing, waving the figure around with the voice, the voiceover,
Right.
and I mean, how much more 80s can you get at that point?
Right, exactly. And we were kind of joking around. Ben and I were like, okay, whose hands are we gonna use? And I'm like, well, I've got little tiny baby hands. Will you try to we'll fake mine. They'll look like kids' hands.
No, and also the intensity of the voiceover narrator. I mean, that is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
That was Brandon. I thought he hired someone to do that because you could hire voiceover actors, and I was like, man, how much do we have to pay that guy? And he was like, nothing. That was me. And I said, are you serious? That's crazy.
Nice.
And the second commercial, like there's the apes are growling and stuff, and that's all him too.
Oh, really?
I love it. It's so funny.
And that's cool that you guys can do. You guys are doing this all basically, together and by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're not.
It's two dudes in a cubicle trying to live the dream.
Exactly.
You know.
Both of you work. Both of you work in the same place, or different, or.
We work at different spots, but we kind of do the same thing, basically.
Both cubicle based.
Right. We're desk jockeys.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, our job is making other people look good, so we figured, we have this skill set, so let's see what we can do without someone else trying to interpret our vision. Let us see what we can kind of bring to our dream.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely.
Getting that out of my mouth.
And it's very commendable. All right, but just sometimes take it slowly, coming out of your mouth, slowly.
Brown cow.
This coming from Pedro.
Yes.
It's some water. It was not a beer.
Exactly. Well, I pledged. I hope. I can't wait till it goes through.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, you guys have been awesome. I really appreciate you guys letting me come on the show and back in the project and.
No, not a problem. I do have a question. I was a little bit confused by something. How come there are two options for the all-in? I didn't see what the difference was, except that one had a lot of people and one only had a handful.
There is no difference in the actual reward itself, but once people select the reward, I can't edit it. And we had a lot of people, not in Mexico or in Canada, but overseas, asking if we could lower the shipping rate for them. So we went ahead and did that, but the only way we could do it was to make an identical reward level and just edit the shipping on there. Because what was going on was the shipping was really high, and we had people that were going, 2 or 3 people were sharing their that all-in package because it's 30 figures, so they can kind of split it up and get a real good bang for their buck. So I had a couple of people reach out to me and ask if we could do that. And I told them, I said, you know what, I'd rather eat the price on the shipping and let you guys enjoy the toys than not at all, you know?
No, that's a very, cater too many companies, and especially big companies, but I think it's a death knell for small ones. You got to cater to your public. You got to cater to your customers. You don't want to do it to your detriment. You don't want to lose money, but like any real business, you lose a little bit at first to gauge interest and get people in there, and then you work on the long term.
Exactly, and you know, I wish that we could have edited the shipping. I don't know why they don't let you do that type of thing, but it was the only way that we could make that happen for our overseas fans. So that was our.
So basically, it's a domestic versus international options.
Exactly, that's all it is. It's the same exact thing.
All right.
And I mean, you got to like Pedro said, you give a little now for the future, and I can't stress this enough. There's a lot of future in this line. I mean, just go to
We're
Spirit.
so excited about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I tried to plan out our character designs to make sense. Like, all of our pale variants make sense. And I love my orange and blue Batman and Batman with glitter and everything, but there's no real reason for those variants other than just to sell toys to kids. Our variants all have some sort of reason or tie into the comic book. So while it's cool to have more than one version of Pale, there's a legitimate reason for him to be looking the way he does, you know?
Not like Snow Pale and Sea Pale and Jungle Pale and Cereal Box Pale and
Libertarian Pale and Abortion Rights Pale.
All right.
Yes.
We're getting out of control here, guys.
It's Friday night.
Time to let loose.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's, first of all, that is awesome that you have so much stuff in the making, and one of the benefits you have is low overhead, since it's you and your partner. So it's great that you're taking advantage of that and offering some great pieces. And you know, the sky's the limit. I mean, how big is the animal kingdom?
Yep.
I know, right? We can just keep going and going.
I'm in this at least until the Platypus Warrior.
Yeah, I'll take a platypus warrior.
If you look at our future plans, we have several different kind of alien figures that are in there. It gets crazy.
All right, now you're getting out of control. Now you're getting out of control.
I know.
All right, you got to work with the Animal Kingdom.
I gotta rein it in, man.
Wow.
Everything eventually goes outer space sci-fi-ish.
Oh yeah.
That's when you know the. Go right ahead.
That's way down the line.
Yes, that's when the line will be at its end. You know, it's all good things come to an end. All right, and that's when the alien. That's when the Star Brigades and and what were the monsters called in the G.I. Joe line?
Oh man, the
Biospeed. No.
I do not consider those G.I. Joe. I know there's a couple from Mexico I think is so wrong. A couple of aliens from Mexico that are really that are worth a lot.
Uh-huh.
All right, the undertones of that are just a bit too much. Yeah. But I never liked it on G.I. Joe. But if anybody could sell it, it's you guys.
Hey, let's make it happen. Let's get this first wave funded, and sky's the limit.
Listen, $20. If you're listening, $20 to the Kickstarter. This Kickstarter ends. What's the day it ends? The 9th, right at midnight.
It ends at midnight tomorrow night.
Midnight, Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time, correct.
All right.
And everybody, that's the price of a 3D movie ticket. And movies are not even worth seeing in 3D. So spend the money on this line.
Right. So you're talking.
If
Guys,
figure some. Aren't you think we have separate weapon packs that would go great with your Hacks figures, your G.I. Joe figures?
Yep.
You know, they're the same scale. They're cross compatible. We're trying to have a little something for everybody.
they're great melee weapons, and you don't get a lot of melee weapons. I mean, you have Marauder doing great weapons, but when it comes to melee, you don't get a lot of those.
Yeah.
Bow that I think just looks great. It would make a good elf bow or a good Medusa bow. We have a mace that's like a monkey's fist. I think that's one of our favorite melee weapons. Instead of a mace, it's a monkey's fist. So that's pretty fun too.
Well, the thing is that the designs that you guys have are, better than let's say, they're better than let's say that Terminator 4 Playmates line. It's better than your average 3 3/4 inch line, and not for nothing, a lot more realistic and unique and different from what Mattel or Marvel produces at 3 3/4 inch. Where did you guys get the ability to do this? How do you guys design these? What is the process? Like, if I want to create my own line, how the hell do I figure out how to design something like that?
Have we lost you, Jason?
Jason?
He's looking up his notes to answer that very question, Pedro.
Technically, it was a rhetorical question, but because I find that really fascinating that people could come up, and this isn't just Frankensteining G.I. Joe stuff and covering it up with putty, all right, or reshaping some things here or there. I mean, these are all unique designs. No more Jason.
No, but what's really interesting, I was mentioning, Pedro, before you came on, how impressed I was by how much the art sells the product. And you see that more in this Kickstarter than other Kickstarters.
Jason!
Back.
Hey, my phone said that it was overheating, so it closed out the application. Sorry about that.
But is it still overheating?
It's really hot. It's on my chest. I'm just going to talk till it goes...
Okay, yeah, because we don't want it blowing up. Okay,
I have a cup of beer water on the side of me that I'll dunk it in if it gets too hot.
Oh, okay.
So, I want to make a comment. I've heard some people, actually a couple people, say, "Oh, they're over stylized figures." Now, I have to say, I don't feel they're over stylized. I feel like they're proportionate to what you're selling. You're selling imps.
Right.
Imps are short legs, big feet, long torso. Yep. To me, that's not over stylized. That's reality.
And they're not. Well, first of all, there is a little stylization because these are not real animals. But that's the point. They're not real animals.
Exactly.
They're animals in human form.
Yeah, you need some element of exaggeration.
Okay, it's not, and they're not stylized in the way that a Japanese toy is stylized with crazy proportions, to give it that anime look. These things look like they came from the island of Dr. Monroe.
Yeah,
all right, this is what animals. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have like this fun, quirky. I think that the style is translated perfectly from my artwork to the physical action figure form. If you think about it, they're not really styled. They're not even as stylized as the Ninja Turtles. If you think about it, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look at Jiminy Cricket. That doesn't look like a cricket at all.
Well, exactly.
No, I think I think it's just. Whatever that person was referring to, they weren't really referring to the correct thing because it's on what they feel about it. Because it's not, they look like they can totally fit. I don't know. There was a great episode of G.I. Joe where Dusty's flying a Sky Striker. A satellite falls in Africa, and Dusty and somebody else has to get it, and they run into this ancient race of men. All right, they're basically upright chimps. All right, all they're missing in the armor. Okay,
that sounds pretty awesome.
and they could be animal warriors.
Yeah, what was that?
Okay.
Satellite down or something?
Satellite down, something like that.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
Dusty and I
can't
forget.
remember.
It might have been Bazooka, but I'm not sure. I know it had a really silly, stupid ending with a TV, and with the animals and with the ancient with the prehistoric men going, "Yo, Joe."
That's right. The Cro-Magnon, yes, that's right.
Y'all nailed it. It's just off enough to maybe throw someone off because they have the 2 arms and the 2 legs, but like you said, a monkey has longer arms and they have shorter legs. Exactly. So that kind of, like you said, it might throw people off to where they think it's quote unquote stylized, but it's more of a proportional type of thing.
Yeah, that's the word I would use. It's absolutely proportional.
Yeah, proportional is perfect. So
it is a labor of love, but go right ahead, Billy.
Yeah, I mean, I always go back to this. I just want people to realize how deep this line is. Take a minute, look at the images you've shared, look at what's coming in the future for this line. Wave 2, Wave 3, Wave 4. I mean, you're talking canine, you're talking turtle, you're talking bear, bison, and with that comes
great responsibility.
very, very bulky. What did you call them, Jason? Bulky, the bulkier figures. They're
our deluxe figures.
Deluxe figures, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's very important to tie that in. It says that whatever this first wave is not going to be every wave recolored. They've got an extensive library of different animal designs to come out. Okay,
Wave 1 is a jump off. Wave 1 is a jump off. It's the start,
and it's an incredible jump off.
Right. I mean,
I think it's a chance to be part of something special. You know, I'm thinking 5 years from now, we're going to be doing a podcast and being like, man, remember those backers that got in on the first series of this line and now we're on series 5, you know?
Yep. I got to say, I missed Hacks. The Vitruvian Hacks. I missed it. I regret it. And I won't miss this because I know I'll regret it. I mean, it's that.
You know what? I was in the same boat and I was like, man, I can't believe I missed this line. And then I wound up becoming friends with Eric and Trina and Andrew and David.
Both Fight Studios.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great.
The people of Both Fight Studios. They are such an asset to the community. As
really
a whole. I had a question for you before I lost you.
Yes.
The stuff that you design is intricately gorgeous.
Thank you.
That is something that if I wanted to create my own line, it'd be a line of stick figures because that's really all I can draw. So first, your art is amazing. What skill set did you use, or how do you come up with a unique line that's not basically taking G.I. Joe figures, modern era figures or originals, and just sculpting over it and then just recasting it? How do you come up with that stuff?
Well, first and foremost, I am a fan of history. Whenever I write, I usually like to listen to something like History on Fire.
Hardcore history.
What's that?
Hardcore history. Dan Carlin.
Hardcore history. I like all that kind of stuff. And someone told me, they said, why are the apes wearing that thing around their midsection? And I told them, I had to explain, listen, that's part of Mediterranean armor. Like, they wore like leathery show pieces that weren't necessarily protective. They were more ceremonial,
That would make sense. That would totally make sense, considering that even though it was about 3,000 years ago, people are people.
Yeah.
And and if you're gonna when you have downtime, and back then they had a lot of downtime, I could totally see fixing up my armor, or doing something that makes me unique or innate. That is cool. So you do research in the look, but where do you have somebody else actually do the designs and renders to make them? How do you go from 2D model on paper to a 3D model on computer?
Did he overheat again?
Yeah, I think so. I think I have bad luck. You know what? I think these are not good questions.
Every time you ask this question, he's like, I'm out.
Yes, I think I'm gonna shut up now, and I think I'm just gonna ask fluff questions.
Pedro, he just doesn't want us to know.
That was a great question. That was really good.
I think it's an Illuminati question. He can't answer that.
I might be able to answer for him while we're waiting for him to connect to it, because I'm actually doing it right now. Well, let's see if he'll answer it now. Oh, he just dropped out. We're actually in the middle of doing this right now with something. I can't go into too much right now because it's work-related, but it really is like what he's saying, where you always start with those sketches first, and you're having a sculptor who gets hired and a painter who gets hired who basically can take those sculpts and make them 3D. And the challenge is finding someone who matches the style, and then that's what's very interesting about what he's done is his art is so, I'm not going to call it hyper detailed, but it does have a lot of detail that really, to me, successfully got translated into a 3D sculpt.
To me, that art is top notch.
The art sells it. I have to say,
yeah, the art.
I think the art sells this Kickstarter.
You know, when you look at comic books, they have people that work because, you know, they've got so many books that they have to fill in, and there's some people, you know, they have talent, but it's not eye-catching. His stuff is eye-catching in a good image way.
Yeah, and you're going to get card art where you get the figures on the card. I mean, let's not forget that this is based off of a comic. So he's got a trade paperback.
Exactly.
177 pages, I believe. So there's a story behind all these. You know, Pale. There is a story behind Pale. So check out the book.
What is Pale?
Pale is the.
Have I missed that?
He's the lead character.
Yeah, he's the main character.
Okay. I'm glad you've been following along for weeks now.
Yes, but anybody who might be listening today for the first time may not know who Pale is.
Well, Pale is the main character of the books, and it's a great name. Oh, and he's an albino too. Albino chimp, yes. That's why
he looks like you.
Yes. As pale as I am right now with this horrible lighting. You see me?
Yes, and chimp-like.
And chimp-like. Yeah.
Well, I do have the Neanderthal brain, you know. So.
Bill, we need to make a Bill Singh Kickstarter action figure line.
Yeah, you like to think you have a Neanderthal brain. You like to. Well, this way you could trick people. This way you could trick people. Gotcha game.
It's a bunch of grunts and groans. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Oh.
Punctuated with some nice cursing and
a little cursing. I leave all the intellectual ish to you.
Oh man!
Look at you, Alan. Sexy as fuck with that hair.
Yes, Alan with hair. Now we just got to convince Bill to get a little hair, and he wouldn't look so curly like.
Yeah, Bill, you need to be in a Three Stooges movie. I mean,
you guys are killing me.
But you can be like pissed off curly, pissed off curly instead of being woo 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 woo.
So,
wow, that was scary. That was really good. I felt like I was watching 11 Alive again as a kid.
11, until when did they stop? Did they always use 11 Alive?
That stopped like years ago. So the page that I linked to you.
No, I understand that, but I don't remember. There you go.
We're seeing some visual now.
Oh my God!
Okay, I promise I won't ask any more questions about how it happened. Okay, how the line came about.
He's on a computer now, ain't he? I could tell.
I went upstairs, dude. It felt like the phone was burning a hole into my chest.
Oh, you're much clearer now too. So.
Yo, your phone was gonna blow up, and no amount of beer was gonna save you from the acid from the phone.
Yeah, you were basically gonna have third-degree burns on your face and chest.
Yeah.
Hospital run and all. You wouldn't even be able to see the deaths of the 24-hour window here.
gonna smash that thing.
You're like,
I don't know how much of
bad phones. Alan has a bad phone as well, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, my phone's a piss.
I'm thinking about going back to that blue Nokia, that soap phone that's invincible.
There you go. Invincible.
And I'm just gonna text and call. That's it. No email or anything.
Wow. You know what? I think going back simpler is probably better.
So
yeah.
So Pedro, ask him this question again, because I thought it was very good. A very good.
Well, what I like to know, what I like some more information, a little more detail. I loved how your figures are basically ripped right out of the comic books. How does one go? How does one go from two-dimensional designs to something that's three-dimensional on computer? Is this the guys were saying maybe you hire out sculptors? What's the process? I imagine there's got to be some kind of CG computer witchcraft that goes on. How do you guys do it? How is it different from just regular customizing it?
Let him answer the question, man. Jeez.
We do two things. We do what's called a character turnaround, which is a front profile, a three-quarter inch, and then a back. That way they know what the figure looks like 360. And then we do control art for the actual articulation. So if it's not a standard elbow joint, or like a double knee joint,
how do you get?
I'll
to that
go
point?
and I'll draw what I want the articulation to look like.
And then who does that? Who gets it into
you
plastic?
pull apart action figures and see how they're made.
And you did that?
We use the articulation drawings.
No. Well, the that's
yes,
the drawings.
I did.
Who did the sculpting?
Jose Fernandez did the sculpting, and Fabino, I can't pronounce his last name.
So
Fabino's in Brazil.
Okay, so you have people
they both did the sculpting.
Because they do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I mean the translation from
Right,
drawing to is immaculate.
Right, they're like insanely good. I mean, if you look at Prime One Studios, their work on the Arkham Asylum is mind-blowingly awesome. They've done work for Ninja Turtles, like the Hot Toy Ninja Turtle line.
Okay.
I think they worked on two of the figures. Like, I don't remember which two they were. But like the Prime One, Arkham.
My question, Jason, is
I'm still here. Go ahead.
So basically you got Prime One to do this for you?
No. These are they're work for hire sculptors.
Okay.
So Prime One hired them to do work on their studio. They're freelance sculptors.
Right.
So these are guys. These are guys that were hired on to do sculpting for them, and you have them helping you now.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I know Jose's doing work for Hasbro. He's also doing work for the upcoming Legends of the West line. So
wow.
We all know each other. I mean, we all talk and give each other advice and figure stuff out. So we all know each other behind the scenes.
Wow. Okay. Very, very cool. So that lends to the legitimacy of what you have. I mean, this is professional level. This is professional. We're talking about really good sculptors and designers. That's why it has that. If it was done in the '80s, store shelf quality.
Oh yeah.
And you could tell that you have great sculptors. I mean, like like Pedro said, they ripped it right out of the book. You know.
You know, bless their hearts, because sometimes they'll ask me a question, and I'm not at my desk. I'm not at my desk, so I don't have any of my art tools. And I'll sit there with like a ballpoint pen and draw something out, and I'll take a photo, and I'm like, "Is that okay?" And they're like, "That's perfect." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, okay, if that works." And they'll come back a few hours later, and it's so much better than I just doodled. It's very.
That's when you know you're working with the right people.
I'm spoiled. I want to say I'm spoiled in that aspect, you know.
Yeah. But no, the pedigree of who you're working with is very impressive, Jason. As far as the companies you're working with, and that is something that I see a lot more happening today. Is that you do have these freelance sculptors who are working for multiple companies, and I mean the pedigree of Hasbro, of Prime One Studios. I mean the fact that you got those guys to work with you. It's easy to see why they were able to translate the drawings so perfectly.
Right, and I mean it's really flattering. I mean, like we talked about Boss Fight earlier, they really kind of mentored me for sure, and I know other companies behind the scenes. So having that as a resource is like extremely humbling and flattering, and obviously exciting too. Because I mean that's your like affirmation that you're going in the right direction. Is you know.
Yeah, it's priceless.
Time to you know make a friendship with me and then kind of guide me on the path to you know making this come to fruition. You know, it's such an honor.
And respect to them. I mean, they don't have to help out other.
I know, right? It's so cool.
It's a community.
But I'll tell you one thing. They're gonna help. They also are gonna be really willing to help somebody who is helping themselves and has a very clear vision.
Your vision is like laser focus, you know, and
thank you. You know, like whenever I get nervous, I get a little harebrained, so I like to have stuff planned out almost to the point where it's like muscle memory, where if I get hit with something, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, or ABC, you know, because I have 2 or 3 moves planned out ahead.
It definitely seems like it. I have a question about, okay, we all know that this is the Kickstarter is going to go through. Right. What is the turnaround? What does it look like once the Kickstarter goes through? How long before I get my figures?
Okay, so if you look at the delivery, it's not until July of next year. That's a way overestimation. The factory gave us I think a 95-day turnaround, and the rule of thumb is to triple that date. So I quadrupled it to be safe.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Okay, no, that is smart. And look, by the way, folks, Victorian Hacks, industry leader, I guess. That took 2 years.
Yep.
Okay. And in those 2 years, it wasn't like it took 2 years because they were sleeping on it. The product we received looked like the product of something that was really well and meticulously done.
I mean, it's action figure masterpiece. Like you take
and ambitious
and insanely awesome.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff that they did and created. Okay, it was really big. So if you're talking about a year, it's a worthwhile investment. There's nothing better than putting your hard-earned dollars now, and then getting free figures later.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. It's Christmas in July.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know?
perfect.
Yeah, and I think you made such a great point. It's investing in a new company, in a new independent toy company that we're gonna have lots of great stuff for years to come. You know.
What I like also is that you have the comic book in digital format.
Right.
You want to bring this to the kids. You want to bring this to the adult collector. But you know, again, you do want to focus on children as well. So now this gives your younger kids now who are all about iPads and Samsung tablets, they can read your comic on their digital medium now that they're constantly on. And on top of that, you can bring them back to action figures but now they can buy action figures that coincide with that book that they read digitally. Their parents can help introduce them to the digital comic world. And
right. It's a great way to trick them into reading, and then once they know the characters and know the storyline, I don't know how many times you guys reenacted Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader like fighting in the Cloud City on Bespin. You know, like you know that story. I can remember reenacting that over and over again, and that's kind of what I'd like for them to do with the comic, is they know Pale and Kali's final battle, like, and they reenact that with the figures, you know.
Look, I have to admit, I've only done that in front of any fan that I ran into as a child.
Yeah.
I think that's great, man, because now you got the digital version.
Luke, I am your father. No, that fan doesn't work.
A for effort.
So I think that's cool, man. You get to bring, you got a medium for the current crop of kids.
Well, Jason, you're a modern day Pied Piper.
You know, I hope so, man.
Well, without the whole pedophile overtones that the original story had.
Went there.
Whoa.
You know what's funny though?
You just ruined that whole story for me, Pedro.
I just want to say this real quick. You know, whenever we do comic conventions, we inevitably have people that want to start a comic book or start something come up to my booth, and they sit there and they are waiting for me to give them permission. And I have never waited. Don't ever wait for permission to follow your dreams. Just go out and do it. There was a great saying that I'm going to screw up, but sometimes you got to jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down, you know? So that's kind of
absolutely,
man.
But just don't make them out of wax and get too close to the sun.
I know, right? Icarus, man. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, you know what, dude? You're not the only person that I heard that from. A lot of people in the comic book in the comic book industry as well. And I heard this about the ex-Marvel editor Mark Grunwald. What he would tell people at conventions who wanted to break into the comic book industry is do what he did, get into it. Yeah. He started out really with a fanzine. Some back in the day before the internet and blogs and web pages. You have to go out there and you got to get your stuff published. Yeah. Get your stuff on a blog. Get your stuff. Get your stuff. You know, find somebody at a local level that'll get it printed for you and hand those out. All right. Get yourself seen and recognized. And it's one of those hard things. It's one of those hard things, and that's when you know you're really into it or not.
Right.
If you're really into it, you do it for peanuts, and with just the hope that maybe somebody somewhere will do it. You know, and I used to see back in the day with a lot of bands, and you get it right now with a lot of with a lot of tapes. You record your music, your songs, and at the show you give them out. You sell them for $5. But you got to get it. You have to do it. You can't wait, like you said, and that's a really good. That's brilliant. Don't wait for permission.
Don't be afraid of failure either. I mean, I follow Todd McFarlane, and I mean he's open about all the rejection he got in the industry. He posts up letters that he's responded back to him from his art that he had submitted, and you know, I mean, look at Todd McFarlane right now. I mean, that guy.
Right. That's the man, you know what? I tweeted him saying, like, thank you for everything you did, because it showed me that, hey, I can try this. I can go for this, you know? So
he changed.
Yeah, and not for nothing. And then you got to give him credit. He took on a major corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he took on the whole. He took on. I mean, not by himself, and unfortunately with Rob Liefeld, but he took on an industry. Okay, they changed the industry norm for better for worse. But in a lot of ways, you know, these guys weren't respected. It is unconscionable what happened to Jack Kirby, and that he had to work in his old days just to have some money to leave for his family.
Yeah, you know, And dude, I don't know about y'all, but I can remember getting that Series 1 Spawn figure, taking it out of the box and just being like, whoa.
Mind blown. Mind blown.
This changed.
He changed the game with action figures.
Yeah, I stopped collecting action figures after the 89-90 Batman Returns line from Kenner. Okay, and I wasn't into the toy biz then. It was so god awful. When I saw that Spawn figure on the rack and the kind of the clamshell packaging.
Yep.
All right. I was 19, 18, 19, 20. I don't know. I was not collecting action figures, and I think I stopped collecting comics. I had to pick it up.
Yeah.
All right. And you look at it now, and obviously there've been a lot of innovations in action figures. I mean, your action figures are a million times more innovative by today's standards compared to that Tom McFarlane. But he was a pioneer and trendsetter. Okay, at that time, I took out that figure and I posed it a million times. Limited posing, but way more than what we were used to sculpting.
Right. And you know what? You talked about the packaging. Coming from the graphic designer background, whenever I walk down the toy aisles, that's something I pay attention to, believe me.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's something that factored into our packaging, you know?
You could tell. It looks great.
And folks, that is becoming a lost art. Hasbro and Mattel put limited to no effort on their packaging anymore. Hasbro fired their whole a few years ago. From what I understand, basically the whole packaging department.
Yeah.
All right. One of the guys.
Packs. They're just generics.
Yeah, it's just generics. It's take these images, slap them on here. Basically, somebody with Photoshop can put it together. The G.I. Joe Retaliation line was horrendous.
It was nothing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You know what? I remember when that line came out. I went. I'll have to find the image, but I went in a form and I said, I'm gonna make a black and white, just plain black and white card art that is more appealing than this. And I wound up taking it and sticking it on a brown paper bag, just to prove like how little effort you could do to make the packaging look better. And the fact that they segued from the 30th anniversary into that was like made it so much more glaring. It was like,
yeah, exactly. You could tell that they got rid of those people.
Oh yeah, they got lazy. It was budgeting. Because
we hired my nephew, talented.
And let me tell you, there are a lot of negative opinions or non-opinions about the Rise of Cobra line. Okay, they used a lot of, and maybe the palette that they used for the card on the card art, but that was one of their best card designs.
I thought they were beautiful.
They were amazing. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of green, especially like a neon green. But they made it work. So with the card art, with the design of the packaging,
right?
It was just it made it a pleasure to keep a card in. Okay.
Pedro,
is that you?
No, that's somebody.
I got the Hells Angels outside. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, like, who's going for the drive on the highway?
Yeah, I may have mentioned this the last time. We have one of the most popular tattoo parlors in the country right outside my window. And there's a lot of bikers that hang out there, and yeah.
The Hells Angels Raphael.
That's awesome.
Chapter.
You know what though? I want to add something to what you were saying, Pedro, and this is the thing about the packaging too. I think when it came down to what's going on right now with a lot of the major toy companies is packaging costs a lot of money. I see this myself right now. The packaging alone takes up a good portion of the budget that these companies are just like, you know what, the hell with it. And it's really only through Kickstarter now where you get to have this intricate packaging that basically gets paid for by the people who want to buy the line.
Yeah, but and you are absolutely 110% right, Alan. I just think that it's a little messed up
It is.
That the Mattels and the Hasbros are penny pinching every single place they can, and
Absolutely.
and not for nothing, this is people's livelihoods. All right, this was, and not that they owe them anything, but seriously, you can't put. You're telling me that the margins for sales drop significantly because you no longer have really innovative or just beautiful art, and it's just.
It's very short-sighted. It's very one-dimensional thinking. This is unfortunately how a lot of these companies are thinking today when it comes to. They just want to throw the things in a toy store. They think the kids are just going to buy them, and that's going to be the end of it.
That's why Kickstarter is the new.
It is. It's the only way.
It's a new giant.
It's a win situation for indie toy companies because it allows us to step up and offer those kind of products that have that high quality that we expect,
and stand out.
And stand out.
The thing is that you guys now stand out.
Big time.
Right. I mean, I can't put our name on a product that I'm not 110% proud of and want to eagerly play with myself. I mean, we have the prototypes, but they're all paint.
What's funny is that, but the board of directors of Hasbro can and do.
Right.
There's that disconnect. You're creating something for the degenerate collector. Okay, the degenerate adult man-child toy hoarder to really really collect, have, own, and love.
I now will have to think of myself as an adult man-child hoarder. Shoot, Pedro. Thanks.
It took you till now?
I think you solidified
when
that.
When it gets verbalized like that, it's like.
but that's
good intervention.
And you know what? But that's what I love. That's what I love about it. If you're going to spend your money on a luxury, if you're going to spend money because it's a pleasure, to know that you're getting something from someone who cares as much as you do, or maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's where I want to put my money. Okay, I put my money on a lot of Hasbro stuff. Okay, I put my money on a lot of this stuff, and it's getting to, and it's gonna, and I hope it gets better and not worse. But they're not caring as much. All right, Matty Collector at least does some. They do cater to the collector. Okay, but again, it's it's weighing between the collector and what the costs are for the corporation.
Right.
All right. The fact that now with Kickstarter, we can with Kickstarter and people with great vision can create something new. So it's not just another rehashed version of Snake Eyes, rehashed version of Optimus Prime, a rehashed version of you name your favorite wrestler. Okay, it's awesome to have a future with new, vibrant, intellectual properties.
When you
That's
say
what's great.
And not to knock those other things. Those other things are great. They're parts of our childhood and everything. But at the end of the day, if you don't reach out and support new stuff, all you're going to have is 30-year-old properties that, you're not going to keep getting new stuff. So, if you guys want to join in and help us get this thing back, we'll keep pushing out new stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing is that just because it's new, it's not. I don't necessarily want to get into it. It has to be done well. And what you and your partner have put together is a property. It is a product that you could be proud of, and as a collector, is a gorgeous display piece. As a collector and child, incredible amount of fun to play with.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, Alan, are you directing traffic now?
Alan,
am I directing traffic?
Yes.
I was just gonna say I was looking at Jason's Kickstarter page. Just to remind everybody, there's 26 hours to go.
26 hours.
You want to share it?
Yes, let me do that. I think it's a good idea because I want to bring up the packaging again just to show how unique this is. Am I live?
You are live.
We can see it.
So, as you guys can see, there's 26 hours to go. There's a little over 32K put in, pledged at the 52K goal. So
19,000.
Yep.
We're practically at 33 right now. We're like,
Couple bucks. Somebody cancel a latte already and throw the 20 up there.
Yeah, and like I said, forget your 3D movies, man. This is the better way to go.
There ain't no good movies out right now anyway.
But what I'm really impressed by...
Who needs that Vertigo with the 3D? It's overrated.
Exactly. This, the packaging here, and I'm going to get to in a moment.
When, Alan?
This is what really impresses me here. This is something that you don't see this anywhere anymore. This is something that we used to basically be around in the 80s and the 90s as far as having very intricate, very detailed, very unique packaging with the character out on front. You got your collectible in the back showing that it's full color background, full identification of what everything's about here. There's no wasted space. There's nothing that's the same. This is perfect.
Brilliant graphic design.
Brilliant.
Really, and it's that same art from the comic book. This is the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom art. All right, you're not getting something different. And I love that they show you the other. You get the I don't know what you call those, the round the headshots of the other 6 figures, or actually all the 6 figures. Okay, and it's got, come on, collect them all, each so separately.
That's hitting vintage packaging out of the park in the modern era.
Yeah. And Jason, I wanted to ask you because I found this very curious. So your packaging has ages 13 and up. Is there anything you specifically did to choose that as an age range, or was that just pulled out of your hat, or like what made you think of going 13 and up with this?
I thought it was a happy medium. I noticed Boss Fight did 15 and up. These are really geared towards, as far as smaller kids, I would say they're safe at 5 and up. Yeah. But I'm not claiming that that's what our goal is. But legally, it's so expensive to have them tested and whatnot. But our goal is for them to be, with parental. I don't know how I'm supposed to keep myself from getting in trouble saying it, but. All
right, let me say it for you. Yeah. It's a product for the adult collective for adults, and they will choose with whom they share it with.
There you go.
That Pedro said it perfectly.
All right, but you are recommending it for 13 and up.
I'm recommending it for 13 and up.
There you go.
And then so this is the graphic novel that we were just referring to. Again, as you can see, this is the art that's on the packaging.
Where can they get the graphic novel outside of the Kickstarter?
If you want a physical copy, you can email me. I'll mail that to you on Monday if you want it. It's actually one of the Kickstarter awards. So if you'd like to, contribute to the Kickstarter, you can select it. I think it's at the $15.
$15 for 100 and what was it, Alan?
177 pages.
77 pages for $15.
Jason, I'm sorry, I forgot if I asked you this the last time we were speaking. Have you also solicited this through Diamond in order to get this into comic shops, or for now is this just through the Kickstarter? Like, do you plan on soliciting this through comic shops eventually?
What I'd like to do is, once the Kickstarter is funded, I'd like to have it, the action figures as well as the comics listed with Diamond. That way they can be purchased across the country.
Yep,
but we really wanted to give our backers a chance first to get in on it first,
Perfect.
Absolutely. That is awesome.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that new up-and-coming band. The kid, that one or two kid in town got the mixtape, and they know all the songs before you know it, and you're like, man, how do you know about this? And they're like, hey, man, I got connections, dude.
And I love this effect here with the lighting, with Baron Kali. This is awesome.
Look at
Hey,
this.
Yeah, the lighting.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you how we did this. So Brandon's holding the camera, and I'm right up against his back, like pressed up against him, and I'm taking my hand and literally just waving it in front of the light to make it look like flames.
But it's a brilliant effect because it really allows for the shadowing to take effect so you can see all the intricate detail of the fur, the eyebrows, all right, that space between your eyebrows, the furling of the forehead, the chin, the
He's got a lot
chest
of
hair.
character, man.
That is just...
You know what's funny? You were talking about that fur texture. When we were trying to figure out what our texture for our furs were going to be, I was walking up and down the toy aisles, and I'm like, I'm not seeing anything that I can use as a reference. And at the time, Monsters University came out, and one of their furry figures had a texture similar to this, and I was like, I saw it, and I was like, that's it. That translates perfectly. It's got just the right amount of detail, but it's also cartoony at the same time, you know.
So it was more of an inspiration, but completely different.
Right, it looks totally different, but like when I saw it, it's like it clicked in my head how to like.
Just stick with that. You heard that, Disney? Just stick with it.
Right. I mean, you can hold them side by side. They look totally different, but it was like seeing it allowed my brain to work out that texture, if that makes sense.
I just love. I love the detail, man. They really brought them to life. I mean, just look at the fur.
You know, I don't know if it's like a pet peeve, but I want all of my character designs and armor and stuff. That stuff needs to work in the real world for me, like, or it'll bug me. So everything you see, it has to work for real whenever I'm drawing it, you know. So it makes it a little bit more easier to translate into 3D form.
Alan, go back to that, man. That thing is mesmerizing me. Them eyes are scary, man. I don't want to mess with this guy, that's for sure.
You know what's funny? Like, if you would not look at a chimp, you would just assume that they have a white eyes like humans, but they don't. They have that dark, rich umber brown instead of white, and it's so creepy and off-putting, you know?
And it almost looks like he's wearing this flaming collar.
He does have, he's got it's almost like I'm trying to think what it's called. It was kind of inspired by, you know, the rings that the women wear?
Yeah.
It's something like that. It's like this collar.
Okay.
And the idea behind that was, you know how certain lizards and stuff, to display their dominance, they'll have like a red flap underneath their neck?
Uh-huh.
That was kind of like my metaphor for him, like kind of trying to like buck up and like display his like show of dominance with that red sash around his neck.
Nice. The eyes look, I mean, they look like you took little pieces of plastic and popped them in a socket.
Well, I was going to say, those eyes look sculpted.
Yeah, they do.
No, they're not. I mean, like, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but I did all the paint masters myself.
Well, you did a great job.
And, I just had like a thin paintbrush, and I had a pair of jeweler glasses, and just went bloop, plopped the little thing of paint on there.
They don't look derpy at all. They look fucking scary.
And you know, at that angle, they could look derpy, but if you look at it head on, they look just right. But because he's got one eye a little bit squinted, you know, like he's like looking like, what are you thinking, you know?
Ah, yes, I see that. No, but
That's what it is. One eye is literally smaller.
But I could tell the head is at a slight angle.
Right, exactly.
But that is level. But that's a paint master you did, right?
Yeah, I did all the paint masters.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to go through, and that's why it takes 3 times as long as they tell you. You're going to have to make sure that the factory gets that right.
Yeah.
Right, and you know what? I went ahead because I'm OCD, and I already Pantone matched everything. So when they say, I don't know what shade of color it is, I'm going to say, you don't have to know because there's a Pantone color match right there. Check it out.
What is a Pantone?
A Pantone is a formula that they mix paint on a scale, and they go by it's a certain amount of red, blue, and green to make this certain shade of dark blue. You know.
Okay, so so basically it's a chemical mixture that with instructions. They know exactly what to mix.
And it has a number identification.
That's right.
Ah, very
yeah,
cool.
they use it for publishing. They use it for all types of painting, but it's very popular in publishing.
Right. It's an industry standard. That means that if we make wave 1, 2, and 3 in one factory, and then we go to another factory and we have to reorder wave 1, 2, and 3 and make wave 4, we have Pantone. So if you hold them up, they're going to match, you know?
And it's very important in publishing, too, because many times you're switching printers, and it's the same idea.
That's
it's like
right.
if you're switching a printer, you're doing another printing, you just have to give them the Pantone color and you're set.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just a way to ensure that you don't have to have what they call a running change in the middle of your production. They kind of started doing that just to kind of phase that out, you know?
No, that's smart. That's smart. See, now that's smart cost savings. That makes sense.
And it's funny you should mention that too, Jason.
I tried to really think about all the little hiccups that we could have along the way. Those are going to be pad printed, where it's like this little soft sponge that'll stick on the paint. That's like the shape of the little logo, and then it'll go right there onto the shield, and they bake it, and it gets nice and hard.
Ooh. I like bacon.
Bacon, baby.
What were you
Man,
gonna
have you ever had pepper bacon? Oh my God.
Alan probably has.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what were you gonna ask him, Alan?
Oh, I was just saying that it's interesting that he was talking about the running change, because when we were kids, it's really funny because, like, for Star Wars, for instance, you would have your blonde-haired Luke and your brown-haired Luke.
Yeah, it was a
that's
thing.
That's a perfect example where they probably were not going by a Pantone. They were doing a running change, and they just got another color, and they were like, we'll go with it.
Segue into.
We got a variant.
Yep, got a variant. There you go.
Yeah.
And now Kettle Giant's making thousands of dollars by doing this. They're like San Diego Comic-Con. Let's do a brown-haired Luke version of the 12-inch Farmboy. And there you go.
I got to have that Wonder Bread He-Man.
Need the Wonder Bread He-Man.
There you go. There you go.
It's not a myth.
Yep.
So give us some website, some email contact. And
yeah, man. It's funny, just excited about it. I can't wait to get the production versions of them.
I can't wait to get them in my hands.
I know.
Yeah.
So how can people check out your stuff? What's your website, Facebook?
If the easiest way to do it is to go to Kickstarter and search Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little Spiro logo. It says contact me. Right above that is our website. It's spirotoys.com. SPERO toys.com.
Great. And I mean, again, just 24 hours, just about it's 26 hours at this point. Kickstarter. Just about $19,000 left to fund this. Let's not let it go by the wayside. Let's get this funded. Let's get these figures started.
Yep.
We're really close, guys. You know, I mean, I've followed a lot of Kickstarters at that last hour where for some reason they just kind of go through the roof, and like you said, we're just 20,000 away. I mean, it's really not much considering, you know, how many action figure enthusiasts there are out there. So we just need a little bit extra push and to get us over the goalpost.
And just remember, everybody, you know, not only are you supporting this line by buying it, and it's such a wonderful line, you're supporting the idea as well of having something out there that's different from every run-of-the-mill thing you're finding in stores today. This is very unique. It's unique from top to bottom, from story concept to what you're getting as a 3D figure. you're doing something not just for yourself but for the community by supporting projects like this.
And you know what? And if you don't give a rat's ass about the community, you're getting yourself a one hell of a well done line, something that looks really good. Give it a taste.
And listen,
you give it a taste for one wave,
guys.
All right, get one. It'll just one wave will fit really nice on the shelf. All right. What I want to know is I'm sorry, Bill. What I want to know is where do I get those dioramas you guys use?
You know what? I made those myself.
Wow.
That's some foam bricks that I got from Hobby Lobby and just glued them together and painted them.
Wow. Well, you need to. I think by wave, I'll give you to wave 3. That's got to be included in that Kickstarter. Okay.
Well, we'll put up the diorama in the Kickstarter, but for wave 2, I want to start offering a flat diorama kits where it'll have like 2 steps, and then it'll have a background, and you can switch it out. It'll be one background on the front, one background on the back. You can just pull it out, switch it out. If you have all bad guys, you can have that quote-unquote Snake Mountain background of the Castle Grayskull background.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I want to say this. I mean, you have the $20 option. You could get the T-shirt, which is badass. I mean, the thing looks amazing. Or you can choose a figure from Wave 1. Now, if you're on the fence about this Kickstarter and this line, what is it to drop $20 on one figure that when you get it, maybe it'll convince you that it's time to get involved, and you won't miss wave 2 like you mostly missed wave 1.
Right. You know what? I'm so confident. I'm really confident once you get that figure in your hand and you feel how well it's made and how easily and naturally it poses, I really think you're going to be hooked on them.
I agree. I mean, and that one figure will probably just tell you, hey, I fucked up. I should have got wave 1. Now,
it's very true.
Now I'm paying $25, $30, $50 to get the other 5 figures.
That secondary market is rough.
It is rough,
and you know what? Some of the things on the figures are just so right. That ab crunch feels so good when you make them bend over. Oh man, I love it. Those the double knee joints allow for them to get like real hunched over, and then that ab crunch just like totally sells that kind of sapient hunched over look.
Yeah.
I absolutely love posing my figures, and to know that you guys are also offering not just the detail but that level of articulation.
Posability.
Posability is just it's just wonderful.
I mean,
18. That mid thigh cut was something that we debated, and at the end of the day, I really, really wanted to go for it because I knew at some point we'd be doing the mount figures, and whenever they're sitting on that gorilla or bull or bear or whatnot, I wanted those feet to be able to kick out to the side and have that natural looking feel.
Yeah. Now, you threw me for a loop when you brought this up. That I didn't realize these guys were going to be mount figures where they literally are going to have riders.
Right, they're going to have those riders, man.
I mean, we spoke a bunch of times. We had you on earlier in the Kickstarter, I believe the first week or so,
right.
or week and a half. And I really had my eyes open when we had you on then, and I mean, it's still surprising me now, and we're 26 hours away. And that's incredible.
Funny. I forget how much stuff is just in my head. I mean, Brandon and I write books together, and he'll say something, and I'm like, dude, I told you that. And he's like, no, you never mentioned that, man. I'm like, okay. But yeah, those deluxe figures are gonna double as mounts, man. You can bend them. They'll be able to hunch over. They'll have that swivel in the neck, so they can face out straight, so they're not looking down when they're in their mounted pose.
That's amazing. God, I can't wait. You know, I haven't been that excited for a new line in a long time. Again, the Vitruvian Hacks is one that I liked it when I seen it. Funds weren't there, and I missed it, and I regret it. And this is another line that I'm not going to regret. I'm in. So.
And you know what's most important about it too, it is different from everything else out there. With all the other amazing Kickstarter lines that are out there, they're all humanoid figures, military, something close to it. This is different from anything else that is out there right now in the market.
Right. This is something unique that you guys will be able to all discover together and talk about and speculate. Man, I wonder what the story behind that character is and whatnot. And then you'll get to read the books and figure out a little bit about each of these characters.
Well, Jason, you know, we appreciate you coming on, and I'm hoping that we can get you some.
Oh man, thank y'all so much for having me. I'm so flattered that you guys had me on.
You're welcome anytime, and we'll have you on for the
thanks.
celebration.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'll come on whenever we do the unboxing of the figures.
Definitely.
That'll be something to look forward to.
That'll be epic.
Guys. Awesome.
But Jason, thank you again, man. And you know, again, once this is funded, we'll have you on the next show. And,
that sounds like a plan, guys.
We'll celebrate. We'll pop some bottles and.
Absolutely.
Wow, like the World Series.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
I got a bottle of red waiting in the wine fridge. I'll wait for that to open it.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks again. Y'all take it easy.
Thanks.
You too. Take care, Jason. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So, man, I mean, I'm excited. Jesus Christ, their mounts.
Hey, I got to tell you something. I got so pumped. I actually pledged a little bit more while we were doing this.
Awesome.
There's now 25 hours to go, so it literally just went down to 25 hours just a few minutes ago. So a little bit more than a day to go, guys. He's got about 20,000 to go, 19,000 to go, pretty much at this point. So it can happen. We just need support.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm finding new things out about the line with 26 hours left. I mean, mounts in the future.
That's awesome.
Wave 3. I mean, I thought it was just a bear warrior and bison warrior, and he's like, nah, man, they're gonna be ridden by 8.
Damn.
That's awesome.
That was.
Yeah. What was that? Who ripped one?
What? No.
No, that was a motorcycle. That was. That was a motorcycle. That was the motorcycles outside.
I don't know.
I purposely decided to live right outside where the Hell's Angels go, just for opportune moments like that.
Yes, so you can rip one and blame it on a motorcycle. We know what gets Bill laughing.
Dick jokes and farts. That's it.
Anyway.
Oh shit.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Oh man.
So there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Wait. Time. Let's hit up BigBoyCollectibles.com. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
BigBoyCollectibles.com. Check them out. That's our sponsor. Jose, again, doing it. Always with new product coming in. This is your one-stop shop for G.I. Joe. If you love G.I. Joe, Alan, are you leaning up to fart again?
I'm adjusting in my chair. It's a sticky chair in a hot room. I'm wearing shorts.
You're messing up Jose's promotion here. Okay?
Sorry, Jose. Bill interrupted his own promo, so.
Whoa! I want to tell you about Big Boy Collectibles. So, BigBoyCollectibles.com. Check him out. Your one-stop shop for G.I. Joe. He's got what you need. He's constantly rotating stock. So be sure to check him out. Thank you again for sponsoring us. And now on to our regular scheduled program.
So, yeah. Do we want to talk Game of Thrones?
Yes, we got to talk Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. You know, I gotta say, I've never ever seen, since the introduction of memes, I've never seen more memes than I've seen that were a result of just this last episode. Memes, videos, shirts, just from this one episode.
Nope. How about the Liana Mormont? That meme I sent you?
That's, you know, and did you read, you know, it's funny you brought her up. I don't know whether or not this is a real thing or not. People have not identified if this is real, but apparently George R.R. Martin was tweeting a little bit last week. It was like, so I hear you like, you know, Liana Mormont. Well, don't get too used to it.
Oh, jeez.
And you know what it is that, again, people are trying to figure out, was it really him? So I don't know, but he's writing right now as we speak the last book.
He's done with it. He said he's done with Winds of Winter?
Is he done with the manuscript?
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the. For what I thought, he was still in the middle of finishing it off. But you know, if it works like any other manuscript.
No. What I'm asking you said he's writing the final book. So Winds of Winter is the book before the final book.
No. I think he is still writing book 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you confused me there. So he's not.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He's writing book 6.
Yeah. So, and you know, the way for him to be writing it, he's probably going to finish off the manuscript. It's going to go back. It's going to get edited. It's going to go back to him again for revisions. If the publishing process works the way I think it's going to work, and it's going to be a while. But the last episode of Game of Thrones, what I found very, very interesting about it was that you've had these fan theories that have been going on for years and years and years, ever since the books were out since in 1996.
The Tower of Joy!
And you had one come through. They actually went ahead and said one of these fan theories is true.
Dude, I was so excited. I've been waiting for that. I'm the biggest Jon Snow mark alive. He's like my man crush. Fuck you, I got a man crush. You don't like it? Tough shit. Jon Snow.
You like that video of his, right? That compilation of Jon Snow? Did that get you excited?
Jon Snow and Frankie Edgar, all right? He's fighting tomorrow, by the way. But listen, I got chills. The last 4 scenes of that episode basically nailed everything that was culminating in me as personally with the series, the books, the show. I mean, it touched everything. We lost Alan.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty random.
Yeah, because the audio just changed.
Yeah, it got a lot more silent. So, to me, that episode with Arya coming back, getting the revenge, Arya getting the revenge on the Freys, and then it went right to... what was the scene? Was it with Jon in the hall, and that's when they proclaimed him King in the North?
King of the North, yeah.
Which just I've been waiting. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was the Tower of Joy. Then it was the King in the North, and then the Cersei part with
she becomes queen,
coronated as queen, and the look on Jaime's face, and that to me were 4 of the most powerful scenes in television history. To me, it was probably the best episode in television history, period.
Well, the first sequence alone, to me, made the episode. Like, you could have had that first sequence, the rest of the episode could have been shit, and it still would have been an awesome episode just from the first sequence alone.
Right. But to hit those 4 sequences at the end like that, bang, 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 I mean, like, it was like getting knocked out by... You know.
It was the most satisfying season finale that they have had, and they've really, since the series is a finite series, instead of stringing us along with the soap opera of all these open threads forever and ever, they tied them up really nicely and really letting us know that this is a different Game of Thrones going on. A lot of the things that they promised us are going to start happening. This is for real.
Well, they got it. There's only 13 episodes left. I mean, they have to.
I mean, but they did it. They did it. They did it. That's what they do. That's what they're doing. So we're going to have season 7 be the battle against Cersei, and season 8 has got to be the battle against the Walkers, the White Walkers.
Yep. And unfortunately, speaking of season 7, there was some unfortunate news learned this week, and that is actually going to be delayed a bit. So they're not exactly saying how late it's going to be, but it is not going to be in April of 2017. It will be later in that year.
They said,
I'm sorry?
They said due to the weather, because now it's winter in the show. So winter has come, you know?
Winter has literally come, and there you go. So they actually have to go and film for winter. So what's interesting is I'm almost thinking that I'm wondering if the next season's going to be almost like a network news season where it may premiere in September.
It could.
Because that's how a lot of these shows work, is many of them now will either premiere in spring, either March, April, or they'll premiere in September, October. And I'm thinking that they're probably going to have this be a September, October premiere.
They're not going to do summer, so you're right. They'll probably do fall.
Yep.
Most TV shows go away in the summer with a few exceptions.
Summer's dead. Summer's dead for launch. It's like, you're either launching in spring.
Except for late summer with Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, AMC has always worked a little differently, I think, from when they put their shows out, but that's true.
I think the online aspect and the HBO Go gives them a little more latitude.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I have no problems with it being delayed, other than that I can't get my crack right now. But if they're delaying it, they're just going to make it bigger and better than ever.
Yeah.
And you know what? I say do what I'm doing. I'm using the delay to read the books.
Yeah, I've been telling you guys I'm back to watching the shows over. I'm reading.
I'm watching it over again. Yeah.
Or listening to the books again.
It's a little early to watch it over again. At least I want to start like in January to get me through the next year.
Yeah.
I mean, for me.
Yeah. Well, I made it through 4 already. I'm up to season 5, book 3. I'm on. So, in the books. So I've listened to some of the books multiple times, but now I'm listening to them again back to back. But yeah, I mean, going back to the episode, there was a couple key things that aside from obviously finally finding out Jon Snow is Lyanna Stark's son, and the fact that I don't know if you guys noticed it, but during them proclaiming Jon King of the North, Littlefinger's look. I mean, you know, he's basically masterminded the entire series himself.
He's masterminding it, and I think he has potential to be a 1A villain.
Right, and he's masterminded that, and that look on his face was like, now I got somebody else to contend with. So let's see if that plays out. And Jamie kind of gave that same look to Cersei, like, hey, what the hell's going on?
To me, Jamie is going to live up to his Kingslayer. And actually, he might be able to adjust. He might be able to change it King dash Queenslayer.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another fan theory, and I forgot what it's called. It's something because of the V, right, Bill? I can't remember the name of the theory.
I mean, it's a fan theory, but I think it's just one of those things you watch these, and it's the seeds are there. What they showed us great is that they'll find a way of making it really interesting and not just straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
the one thing I did want to bring is with that whole Jamie thing is, remember he killed the Mad King because he didn't want him to burn the city, which is basically where he was headed, and Cersei basically burned the city.
Well, she burned the Citadel, and she's got way too many possible opportunities. So there's still plenty of that what's it called, the wildfire available for the rest of the city, and she may become a Mad Queen.
I think she already has.
I think she already is the Mad Queen. Yeah.
You know what? You're right. No children. Ooh.
And I gotta tell you, speaking of that, one of the funniest memes that I did see, and this is obviously me being a Roddy Piper fan, is they had this meme of her basically saying, I love my children and I want to blow shit up, and I'm all out of children.
Yes, that was a great one. It's for people that's technically a Roddy Piper in the movie They Live. Great line.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, again, that episode to me probably the best ever in television. I mean, you know, the Wire's series finale to me was incredible. That wrapped up that series extremely well. That being probably my number 1 or 2 show all time as well, with Game of Thrones probably. You know, I could see them interchanging personally, but I felt that.
Yeah, with me, the ending of Breaking Bad was amazing.
Yeah, that was great as well.
And that's my 1A show.
Yeah, I just feel like they really outdone pretty much every TV show with that one episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's ever been another episode that good. So what do you?
Well, wait. I think that's a little strong, considering that the episode before, Battle of the Bastards,
episode 9 was pretty freaking epic.
That to me is the one that is insanity.
I think it beat it out just because of the amount of wow, like the holy shit, like finally, you know, that whole culmination.
Wow, that's what I got from the. First of all, not only did I get the holy shit from the Battle of the Bastards, they rewrote the book on cinematic or TV battle sequences.
All right, it was battle sequence, but in terms of writing and
dude, it was epic, man. This is Ben-Hur in 2016. At least for me, I've never seen anything so epic in my life.
See, for me, the final episode of the season was. That to me was one of the best on TV. That's my opinion. If not the best.
It wrapped up a lot of stories. But in actual happenings, what happened in Marine, and then what happened in Winterfell was just like I at the end of the episode I was shaking.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'm out there cheering like it's my favorite team. But anyway, I mean, that's why, like I said, it's personal to me because I felt personally that wrapped up every single thing that I currently want to know. Obviously, the future is the future, and we have a slight idea of what's coming, you know?
Absolutely.
Because winter's already come. So.
All right, guys, I got to break off. I got something coming up right now, and I got to be up early in the morning. But folks, pledge to the Kingdom Warriors of the Animal Kingdom. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Jeez.
Tongue twister.
Terrible.
Tongue twister.
So me and Alan will continue on with some San Diego Comic-Con talk.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Bottom line is, all the stuff you guys are talking about, I'm going to go for secondary market within the next few 6 to 12 months. Unless anybody wants to donate anything to me.
Yes, we are all accepting donations.
What email can they donate to?
Yeah.
Where can they get your address?
Oh, my personal address is reach me at the Plastic Empire. You can reach me at Plastics in the Attics on Facebook. You can reach, so just drop us a line and PM me. I'm on Facebook as Pedro J. Rodriguez from New York City, and I will gladly share my private information with you.
He takes donations, people. Donations.
Absolutely. I'm not too proud to beg.
Well.
All right. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later, and
we'll see you tomorrow. We're having another. We'll have another special tomorrow, so we'll see you then.
Hopefully.
Yes. That's what I hope. All right. I'll get on that. We're gonna get on that. All right. Peace.
Have a good night, Pedro.
Good night, fellas.
So let's just go right into San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, let's knock these out because there's so much. It's just
definitely, yeah. If you'll, I'll go share.
You got
it. And I'm gonna have to bounce back and forth, so you'll forgive me as far as the agenda goes, because I ran into some slowness here, having a bunch of other links up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go through each of these very quickly. So. One of the things that's coming out here is from Entertainment Earth. This is San Diego Star Wars Force Awakens C-3PO.
Episode 7, right?
Episode 7. This is with the red arm.
Red arm.
This is about 20 inches.
Okay.
And yeah, this is exclusively through Entertainment Earth. Very nice, as far as the back metal goes. It's quintessential C-3PO.
Mm-hmm.
Not much else to really say about it.
Not bad.
But
Limited
it's
articulation like the original figure, so that's cool.
Exactly. So it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a double positive. Pretty beautiful. But
what is next?
Now, next up is from our friends at Gentle Giant.
Gentle Giant. Let me just say, I got a number one.
Oh, that's right. We have a Gentle Giant rant coming up, folks.
Gentle Giant rant number one coming out. Now,
all right.
I'm pissed off at Gentle Giant. I got this stupid guild membership. I let it go. I let it recycle, and I let them charge my card because I was like, you know what? Let's hope that they smarten up and throw a G.I. Joe exclusive out for San Diego Comic-Con so I could actually buy it. And sure enough, no G.I. Joe Jumbo exclusive. They basically, if you ask me, it looks like they've killed that line. They're done. I mean, all I see now is superhero Jumbos and Star Wars Jumbos. So, F you, Gentle Giant. F you. You raised the prices, which didn't help. You killed the line as soon as whoever 3DO or 3D
Systems, and that's what it is that unfortunately, and for those who don't know, Gentle Giant was purchased by 3D Systems a couple years ago, and once they did, it literally changed the face of the company because number one, the website became a lot less easy to manage from an order standpoint and just from an overall aesthetic standpoint. And then they basically jacked up the prices of figures, jacked up the prices of shipping and everything.
They launched that rock and roll at like $90, and then they jacked up to $120 for the next release, which was Snake Eyes, was it?
I think so, or Stalker.
Stalker or Snake Eyes, and they jacked that up. But I mean, you're talking like a $30 jump from one to the next. It's not like it was Snake Eyes version 2 with Timber, where you got that much more plastic. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm pissed off about that. So Gentle Giant, never mind.
I'll get into where I do like Gentle Giant, but before I do, that is coming soon. But one of the first offerings they are having.
I want a refund for damn guild membership.
I say good luck with that, but go ahead and start the battle.
Yeah.
But they are
hashtag I want a refund.
Well, they have Superman and Batman. These are superpowers figures, basically, that are coming out soon. They're not out yet. Jumbo versions of the 1984 figures, and what they're offering here are prototype versions, all gray, basically looking like test shots with their correct color capes.
Kind of goofy. I don't.
They're goofy. They're pretty. I'm not getting them because I only have so much money that I can spend for San Diego. But I do think that for a superpowers enthusiast, I think these are must-haves. But that's me.
Do you? Yeah, I don't see any use for them. But then again, like you said, I'm not a superpowers guy. I like them, but not a collector per se of them.
So one other thing. There's a number of other things Gentle Giant's coming out with. This is a McQuarrie style Chewbacca bust.
Why even? You can't give us a G.I. Joe, but you give us this crap.
Yeah, well, they got to do their mini bust. Gentle Giant is big into their mini busts. They probably had a hole they needed to fill in this regard, where they'd have to offer something like this for San Diego, and this is the one that they're using.
God awful. G.I. Joe. Sorry, that was horribly put together. I just stared a moment at that.
And now, what I'm going to show here now, so this is interesting. Ooh. They did not put all these up for order yet. Some of these things that they put up I showed you, but others are just simply listed but not actually up from Gentle Giant. So here's some more things they're coming out with. They're coming out with the Captain Phasma bust. The order's not up yet. This is pretty cool. Again, it's another Star Wars bust that they're offering.
This is where we need a fart sound.
They're doing this Deadpool 3-pack for Secret Wars. So this is like a Secret Wars style figure, multicolored Deadpool, little mini bobbleheads. Not really feeling these, but for Deadpool enthusiasts, there they are. They're also offering another bust here. This is Duraton from Warcraft.
Yeah. Plus.
And these are the things that I really want.
This is bread and butter, baby.
This is my bread and butter. Now, this Farmboy Luke, they've already offered in the past when they first started the Star Wars 12-inch line. What makes this one unique is that this is on the Return of the Jedi card back with this art that was done for Return of the Jedi. And Return of the Jedi, you know, when those figures came out, they did reuse a lot of Empire Strikes Back and a lot of New Hope figures. And they just put them on the Jedi card, and that's what they decided to do here. What makes this special, though, is the variation, and this is the variation. So this is what we were talking about during the discussion with Jason about variations back in the day, where they did not go by specific Pantone colors. They did a running change with Luke, and he had brown hair. And this is a 12-inch version of that brown-haired Luke on the original New Hope card, but it's on, again, a Return to the Jedi banner card. So this is cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I've always liked the brown-haired Luke. They did a brown-haired Luke for Empire Strikes Back as well. I'm hoping they eventually get to that one. But the pair of Lukes here, I'm all in for this.
Hey, by the way, before I forget, what's our freebie, man, from the
Oh, the freebie is the Han Solo in Carbonite, which we did talk about that a number of shows back.
Did they open that up yet?
They did. That's already opened up.
I better go look, man.
Yeah, that's already opened up. That's for 2016. They're also doing this little Rocket Raccoon, little anime-style statue. Again, not up for pre-order yet. They're just displaying it. This they just put up. This is a Spider-Gwen micro bubble. So again, it's another Secret Wars style figure, but this is Spider-Gwen, who for some reason is a popular thing in Marvel Comics. I think it's kind of a silly thing, but you know, what can I tell you? Spider-Gwen has a big fan following, so there you go. Again, we've already seen these superpowers, but this is pretty cool. This is a set of 3 micro figures they're doing for superpowers. If you recall last year, Bill, they did like micro figures for G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
For Snake Eyes and Rock and Roll. Mm-hmm. They're doing the same kind of thing here for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman in this special 3-pack. I will probably pick this up. I love this look. I love the old Superpowers design. I'll probably get this when they do put it up for order. And that's pretty much it. So that's the whole Gentle Giant run. Again, they're not all up yet, but they just gave a sneak preview of the things that are coming up. Now, here's where I'm in trouble. And this is for everything coming out from Super 7 for Masters of the Universe. So these bastards are going to take all my money. This is the next iteration of their muscle line for Masters of the Universe. So now they're doing trash cans in the original gray color. And they're going to have the multicolored figures just like they did back in the day with multicolored muscle figures. And, you know, they did not glow in the dark. They did like a lime green slime-colored Masters of the Universe style figures in a trash can for PowerCon. This is the variation for San Diego Comic-Con. Also for Muscle is a 24-pack of back in the day when they used to have these boxes. And I love this style. And what's important about this one is that it not only includes the Wave 1 toys, this is your first chance of getting Wave 2.
I love that. I love that. Straight out of the muscle, whatever. But just look at that, like He-Man, like just,
just like
the original, just like the original muscle packaging.
Yep, this I need. And this, you're seeing the yellow ones here, but there's also going to be a green variation. I don't know if the green is more limited or not, but there will be a green variation of these figures.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Not for this box. Yeah, the multicolor is going to be in the trash can. Yeah, for these, it's only going to be all yellow or all green.
Yeah, those are good. Kevin's all over that shit.
I'm all over that shit, too.
He loves the muscle style. These look badass.
Yeah, so this is also, again, Super 7. They're doing the next wave of the 3 3/4 style figures.
Yeah, like reaction style.
Yep. So this time they're having Triclops, Trapjaw, Man-at-Arms, and the Sorceress. I don't know. I find the choices a little bit odd. I kind of wish they would have finished off with the 8-pack. If they would have done Teela, Stratos, Zodak, and trying to think who the 4th person is, who I can't remember now.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm dead in the head right now.
Now these will probably be available at NYCC as well, right?
Yeah, I think these will be available at NYCC. They'll probably be available on their site. I think the muscle figures will be much more difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah, those are going to be tough. They did have them last year at NYC, New York Comic Con as well. So
They did.
You never know. That's another fucking thing I want to get into, but we'll do that after these after these messages.
So going back to Star Wars for a short bit, Hasbro is putting out Black Series exclusives.
Oh.
So first up here is this. It's again, these are all 6-inch. This is Kylo Ren. Comes with a little Darth Vader busted up helmet and this the First Order little banner. It's pretty cool.
No man.
And then there's an Obi-Wan Kenobi, old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is that Leia there? Oh.
That's a little Leia hologram. This is pretty cool because it's been a long time since there's been an old Obi-Wan figure, and this is Black Series, so this is great.
That's awesome. Cloth cape and all.
Great design. Now we go into Hot Toys. And Hot Toys has a number of things coming out. Hot Toys and Sideshow, for that matter. First up is this Nightmare Batman from Superman vs. Batman.
Looks good.
This is essentially going to be a Toy Fair exclusive.
Okay.
So they have the Japanese Toy Fair, and they usually promote their stuff at the same time as San Diego's promoting their stuff. Yeah. And this is going to be specifically for the Japan shows. This is beautiful.
Now this is Batman vs. Superman. It's Batman in his nightmare in the movie when he's in the middle of, I guess, the desert.
Exactly.
Post-apocalyptic world.
Exactly.
Looks good. Very good.
This is great. This is beautiful. I love here. Look at the little Joker on the gun. The detail for Hot Toys is always just it's just stupid nice. It's
knock it out of the park.
It's ridiculous. And they have the Suicide. Well, we're about to see a Suicide Squad figure. They have the Suicide Squad license now. I've been trying to swear off this line just because I just am trying to cut things out. Probably they're eventually going to have a Harley Quinn Hot Toys figure, and I will buy that most likely. Now the next Hot Toys piece, and this is what I was referring to. This is the very first Suicide Squad Hot Toys figure. This is again going to be a Toy Fair exclusive.
Looks good.
This is beautiful.
What does he come with? Because I'm not spending $600 for that.
And I apologize. My internet's slowing down a little bit. So, and this site that I have linked to, it's a little more difficult to go through the images. So I apologize, everybody. But this is essentially going to be an Arkham Asylum version of the Joker.
Okay.
So this is him in a straitjacket.
It looks all right, but I mean, it's not something I'd run out.
Yeah, it's not something I'd run out to buy. Again, I'm a big Margot Robbie fan. I'm a big Harley Quinn fan. I'm probably going to pick her up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go to the picture that basically has everything that he comes with.
Do it.
Sorry, guys. This is through Toy News Eye, which is always a very difficult site to navigate through. But this is basically everything he's got. He has a straitjacket. He's got the pants. He's got the chair. He's got some pieces of paraphernalia here. And again, this is supposed to be him in Arkham Asylum.
All right.
So again, this is one of your Toy Fair exclusives that they're doing. And it's the very first Suicide Squad figure. Next up is Hot Toys Star Wars. This is, again, another Toy Fair exclusive. And this is a Jump Trooper.
Jump jetpack, huh?
Yep, basically your basic Stormtrooper, but with a jetpack. Pretty cool.
Joe concept.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what they did. They just upscaled that.
Jump Trooper, buddy. Nobody's beating Grand Slam. Grand Slam, right?
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's a nice figure. It's not too different from other Stormtrooper figures, but it has some nice accessories. It's got with the jetpack.
I like that gun.
The gun's great.
Yeah. The other one with the drum.
It's everything he comes with.
Yeah, pretty good. A pistol, 2 rifles, jetpack.
And another Hot Toys Toy Fair exclusive is going to be what they're calling Disco Armor Iron Man.
Disco Armor Iron Man. I
never understood why they called it this, but this is one of the variations from Iron Man 3 when he had all these different armors show up at the end to help him. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those armors. Very gaudy.
Yeah, I like it, though. Blue and gold, brown, or I guess copper. copper and blue.
You know, for me, I think if you're an Iron Man enthusiast, this is for you. Otherwise, you know, it's not like you're missing out necessarily unless you're a completist to have every armor from Iron Man 3.
And you're going to drop probably 190, 200.
Oh, no, man. I'm thinking this thing's easily 300 and up.
Really? Holy shit.
It's Hot Toys. It's Toy Fair exclusive. I bought a couple of Toy Fair exclusive from Hot Toys. Those are usually 300 and up.
Yeah, forget it. Odd colors, not worth it.
Yeah. So, next up are a bunch of exclusives through Toys R Us.
Ooh, there's some nice.
There's a number of things here.
Who cares? Power Rangers.
This is Power Rangers.
Move on.
You got a Bumblebee Funko figure, metallic, yellow. You've got Astromech Droid 3-pack.
Is that
Black Series.
3 3/4 Black Series? No, right?
You know what? Yes, I think this is 3 3/4.
Okay. So the droids 3 3/4. What does it say?
It simply says Black Series. I'm trying to see here if it does not say the scale, but that looks to me like that's 3 3/4 scale.
I think they canceled the 3 3/4, but who knows? I don't know shit. If Pedro was here, he'd probably know.
He might know. Then you got glow in the dark, 2-pack little. Trying to think what you call these things really, but
scroll down, it'll tell you.
These are vinyl figures. These are vinyl little anime style figures. You know, the squatty little anime kind.
Yeah, not sure what company that is. Some random Nerf gun that has to do with.
Yeah, this is Halo.
Yeah, that's a lame San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
It is actually. I mean, some of the things are just they're phoning in. I think for Toys R Us. They got a Marshmallow Ray from Diamond Select. That's pretty cool.
It's all right. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ghostbusters, by the way, when Stay Puft explodes.
Yes.
These Mega Blocks, man, they're pretty cool. The turtles.
These are cool, and I really like what they're offering here because these are basically the Eastern Lair black and white style.
Black and white.
So I love this. The only bit of color really is a little red of Raphael's mask.
Yeah. Well,
that
might not be Raphael. That might be another one. Aren't they all red in
this one? This one has the size, so that's Raphael. But you're right. You're right. They all do have the red masks in the comics. So you're right. There's Leonardo.
Just show you how observant I am.
And look at this. This is wonderful detail.
That is awesome. They're doing pretty good with those Mega Blocks, man.
Yeah, I buy the Call of Duty ones. They're great. Those freaking wow! Look how huge those things are.
Those are big.
They're as big as him. Then you have Muppets Mini-Mates.
Huh? Hey-ho.
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 My Little Pony Elements of Friendship. Oh, by the way, you know, we got I don't know if we probably get in trouble for showing it, but you saw that toy mashup of My Little Pony and Game of Thrones?
I didn't.
That was oh my god, that was just perfect.
We're done showing shit.
We're done showing videos. We get in trouble for it, but for any of you out there, look up toy mashup of My Little Pony and Game of Thrones. It will change your life. More My Little Pony.
Oh, move on, Jesus.
More My Little Pony.
Oh,
here we go from Funko. We got Teen Titans, Raven as Wonder Woman. Here's Starfire as the Flash. Robin as Batman. Here's a little Kid Robot Shredder vinyl figure from NECA.
Pretty cool.
Triceraton from NECA.
Vinyl.
So this is interesting. This is a Transformers Masterpiece Bumblebee. This was originally offered from Takara in 2 versions. The first was in this version that came with Spike in his exosuit. Then they had a more metallic gold version that came with a rocket pack that had the face of the toy. And now this is a 3rd version. This is going to be a U.S. version. It's the first time this will be in the U.S. And this will be the original Bumblebee with Spike. And this is exclusive to Toys R Us.
I like that. I like that.
Boom! And here you go. So here's Loyal Subjects. They're doing a G.I. Joe line that's been delayed to shit. I mean, I don't know when the heck it's coming out at this point, but they are offering 2 versions of the Beachhead style body as Wreckage and Beachhead Tiger Force, and these are also going to be Toys R Us exclusives.
Now, Wreckage is basically Firefly and Tiger Force camo. He was he was basically like a he was in the catalog, I believe, or it was in the catalog. They had showed him, but he was never created. I guess they had a mock-up or a paint sample, and he just never made it out. And eventually they put him out in, I believe, 5-pack or 6-pack Tiger Force.
Yep, exactly.
And now they have the Loyal Subjects vinyl figure, and these Loyal Subjects vinyl figures are way different than original.
These have a lot of articulation. They got full bodies. I'm really into them. I'm trying to fight myself from buying a whole box. I know I at least want the Vamp with clutch, but
14 points of articulation now, and the accessories are spot on the vintage.
They are.
If in terms of the figure's size and likeness and such, I mean, they're obviously a little different, but they're a perfect perfect. I don't know the word you would use, but
representation of vintage Joe, I would say. Yeah.
And the Wreckage looks cool as shit. That Beachhead has always been a little suspect, the convention figure version, but
I liked it. I liked it.
It's pretty fucking bright. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I love I can't wait to see when these come out, because I'd like to, like you said, grab a box or two.
So next up, and this is very interesting. This is kind of out of left field, but Marvel does this a lot. This is the 3.75 inch collector set of the Collector.
That's pretty cool.
This is pretty cool, and I love this.
I was like, that's nice.
It's got Lockjaw. It's got the Collector. It's got Howard the Duck. I don't know the name of the dog or this guy here.
What's with the lack of articulation, though? That's what I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving the Collector the articulation that these figures normally get, at least.
He looks good, man. I don't know how he looks in the comics, but he looks like a cool ass figure.
And look at the packaging. That's beautiful.
In their own little cells.
So it's the Collector, Howard the Duck, Cosmo the Space Dog, that's his name, Lockjaw, Moonboy. So Moonboy is this little guy here.
The Zodiac Key.
Yes, the Zodiac Key, the Casket of Ancient Winters, and the Wand of Watum.
And this is 6-inch, I'm guessing?
This is not 6-inch. This is 3 3/4 inch.
Really?
Yeah.
That figure is amazing for that size.
Yeah. It looks like they went back to the old original 3 3/4 Marvel sculpting for this, which is great.
That's awesome.
Probably repurposed.
I wish that Howard the Duck wasn't just a PVC piece, though.
Yeah. Now, going back to Loyal Subjects.
Loyal Subjects.
Look at this sucker.
That Prince Adam. Holy shit.
I'm going to need that.
That's a pink and purple pocket of beautiful.
Yep. I'm going to need that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, they're slaying it. I can't wait to get this stuff in hand, though,
And lastly, this is a Jack Specific exclusive, Captain Phasma. Pretty much looks very similar to that C-3PO figure that Entertainment Earth is doing.
Gotcha.
Same style packaging, same style figure.
All right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these. These are what those.
I'm not either. I figure we should show it. I think it is an important exclusive. I think for Star Wars collectors for sure.
Sure.
But yeah,
I'm not a big fan of those chunky, big plastic things that they have on the bottom shelves at Toys R Us.
No, I know. I'm kind of in the same boat.
So since we're talking Comic-Cons, New York Comic Con, man, what kind of shit was the ticket situation? I mean, you didn't wait, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Me and Gil and Pedro, I mean, we were waiting. I mean, by the time they got to me, they were just about sold out of Saturday. Mary had picked up Saturday tickets for me and Friday, so I was good, but I was in the middle of trying to just ask them guys if they wanted me to pick them up Saturday tickets, and by the time I figured it out, they were gone. I mean, I wanted a 3-day pass. I wanted Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which would have been only $85. However, I ended up spending $100 for the 2 days. You know, I only was going to go to 2 days, but I would have saved some money.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, they got the queue, they got this verification. Like by the time you get in, I mean, they're updating you. Yeah, 50% tickets sold for 3 day, 4 day, and then 75%. Then, you know, oh, they're sold out. It's like you wait and wait and wait. I literally waited 2 hours before I got in, which is insane. And
now,
what kind of verification? I mean, what help is that? You're not helping nobody.
It's not helping anybody. It really is. I don't understand what the reasoning is behind it. The only positive thing about this really is that I don't know if you saw what I put on our board earlier today. They're reopening fan verification. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, but what the hell? Who cares about fan verification at this point? I mean, at this point, the tickets are basically sold.
See, that's the thing. I'm wondering if reopening the fan verification may eventually have them opening up another block of tickets. I don't know.
Yeah, but that don't help me. I already spent the damn money on the tickets. You know? So,
yeah.
I mean, again, it just shows that fan verification is bullshit. And it was a stupid idea to begin with. Scalpers are going to get tickets to scalp.
They are.
You know who got the tickets? You know who got all the 3 day tickets that I wanted, or the 4 day tickets, or the Saturday tickets some of our friends wanted? You know who got them? All the people earlier in the queue who decided they're going to buy it and assign it to people. You could assign them to anybody. It just has or certain. Right. They're going to buy them. It's not going to stop anybody from scalping tickets.
You're right.
They're just going to buy them and get them assigned to people sooner than later. That's it.
No. It's a shame. It's not a pretty process at all.
I'm just pissed off. You know, like I for the Plastic Empire, I wanted to be. I wanted to make sure I was there at least 2 days, because last year I took a lot of pictures and stuff, and I just felt rushed. So I was like, at least I could go to 2 days for the Plastic Empire to do a little bit of live videos from our Facebook, you know, some pictures. And, you know, I got the tickets, obviously, which is good, but I wouldn't have got them if Mary hadn't got it on before me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a little disappointing. So, you know, at least I'll be there, and I'll get to hang with you guys. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there on Thursday and Friday working the Inside Editions booth, and then Saturday I'm going to try to see what I can do about hanging out. I'm probably going to be seeing a lot of people on Saturday. I'm probably going to be networking a lot on Saturday. But at least, yeah, I'll hope to see some people that day.
Yeah. So what do you want after my rant? I'm sorry, man. What do you got? What else you got here?
No, it was a good rant. It's probably something we should have definitely talked about, because it is a frustrating thing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
We have a few more things we could show, I guess, before we wrap up. I should probably go back to sharing. I got
to say, since you're getting ready to share, found out Underworld is getting Blood Wars is getting a 2017 release date.
That's right.
Kate Beckinsale. I'm a big Underworld fan. I love that. I love that series. And
yep.
Just Kate Beckinsale. What else can you say?
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale basically always looks like she does not age. So
yeah. So she's back, and can't wait for that. So 2017. I knew that they were working on it.
Yeah.
But it's finally got a release date, which is right around the corner at this point. And what do you got? Let me share you here, or present you. Oh, so that beautiful.
This is pretty cool. This is Prime 1. They're doing G.I. Joe statues now. So they have a teaser here of Snake Eyes.
My favorite figure, and that's the look that I love, the version 2.
Yep.
G.I. Joe is basically all I give a shit about. That's, you know, in terms of collecting, I do love a lot of different things, but in terms of collecting, I mostly just buy Joe.
So they're probably going to have more information on this at San Diego, and probably more full images. But in addition to Snake Eyes,
I wonder if they're going to put a little more highlights on that, like some gray.
I hope so. I hope these are just teaser, because here's Storm Shadow, same thing.
Man, his arms aren't even. Well, maybe it's hard to tell from that blurry picture. It looks like I took the goddamn picture.
Yep.
I take horrible pictures. Just so you know.
So, you know, I'm not a big statue guy, but for folks who are, man, Prime One puts out some prime stuff, so they have a good name.
Primo.
Yeah,
those look interesting. We'll see how they what the word is.
Now, this is something I was really hoping Pedro would be here for. This is a third-party Perfect Effect doing Optimal Optimus from Beast Wars.
Okay.
So Optimal Optimus, for those who don't know, this is when third season of Beast Wars, they basically realize they're on Earth. They go to the Ark when all the Autobots and Decepticons are deactivated. And Optimus Prime basically gets his head blown off by the future Megatron in order to try to change the past. And Prime, basically, Optimus Primal saves Optimus Prime's life by holding on to the Matrix while he gets his head repaired. So when he put the Matrix in his body, he evolved into this. Now, this is black and white. I am sorry that I don't have this. Someone did a Photoshop of color for what this is probably going to look like. I apologize I don't have that here. But the sculpting on this alone, this is insane.
It looks really good.
And, you know, I am a Beast Wars fan. I try to stay away from the Beast Wars toys, but I had the Optimal Optimus toy back in the day, back in '98 when it came out, and I will probably pick this thing up when it's put up.
I like that Beast Wars look, or I'm not a fan of Transformers as animals. I never have been. My brother actually loved the show itself.
The show was beautiful, and it was really well done, I thought.
I always thought it was so cheesy 3D, you know, like early, like, I don't know, but that was just me. I never got into it. He was big into it, and but that figure looks great. It really does.
So yeah, I don't know when this is going up for order, but when it does, I'm probably going to be all over it. Perfect Effect does some great stuff, so keep an eye out for that. Again, I really do wish Pedro was here for this because he'd probably be salivating over this thing.
We wouldn't get a word in edgewise.
Something else Pedro would salivate over. NECA is producing Preacher toys.
Nice. That's going to be interesting.
Preacher, for those who aren't aware, it's now a very popular TV series on AMC. It's based on a Vertigo comic back in the day by Garth Ennis. It was a really, really popular book. TV show, I haven't seen it yet, but it's getting a lot of good buzz. And they are going to be having NECA toys based on it. And
it's pretty good. It's a little like all over the place, but that's what I hear the book.
Well, the comic was too, so that doesn't surprise me too much.
Right, but it's good. Got me interested. You know, keeping my interest.
Yeah. So no images yet of the actual toys, but I think this is very interesting that NECA is going to get the license for this. So more to come there. And something else NECA put out. There's a lot of NECA Terminator stuff, but here's another one. This is the new Terminator 2 T800 figure. This is a teaser.
We looked at this, I think. We looked at this one already a few shows ago.
I think we looked at another variation of it. This is from T2. I don't know if we looked at a T2 T800 figure.
Okay. Gotcha.
But apparently this is a new, this is apparently a new figure that they just announced over the holiday weekend. So it's possible that what we looked at was either a different scale or a different version. But
they do so much of it, it's hard to keep up.
It is hard to keep up because they are churning these out.
Yeah. Plus my shit brain, so.
Now, here's something interesting. This is a company called DreamEX. Okay. They got the Nickelodeon license, and they are doing a Casey Jones. This is just teased right now.
That's cloth, huh? What size are these?
These are 1/6 scale. So these are 12 inches.
Really?
They are teasing turtles. But here is Shredder.
Very nice.
This looks awesome.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh, scroll down. Let me see what he's got there. You're missing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to go through these images here.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
And here's everything that he comes with.
There you go. Look at that head sculpt.
Yeah.
Is that the mutagen?
That's the mutagen. This is a beautiful piece. Again, if I collected turtles, I'd be all over this.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is very well done. I have not heard of DreamEX actually before. I don't know if Pedro has. I'm not familiar with this company.
I'm telling you, man. Like it seems like every episode, I'm seeing new stuff that in this size, or a little larger or a little smaller. That's just incredible. Like the 6-inch. What are the 6-inch? The 112s with the cloth.
Oh yeah.
6-inch figures with the cloth. I mean, it's amazing.
So this looks beautiful. This looks like this is, if you're a Turtle fan, this line looks nuts.
Yeah, definitely. I think they could use an extra handset. Let me see, because I didn't like the way that was holding the mutagen and.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of the hands here, there's a couple open hands here, but not that much. You're right.
If you scroll back down, you'll see the him holding the mutagen and the walkie-talkie or the radio, and it's pretty lame.
Yeah, you're right. Now that you're right, you bring up a good point. They probably could have done better with another set of hands.
I wonder. Nah, you can't even interchange those with some other line.
Probably not.
Because of the gauntlets. Whatever. It is what it is.
Now, the last thing I want to talk about, this is yet something else that Pedro will drool over. So, a long time ago, Hot Toys announced that they were going to make an Age of Ultron Hulkbuster figure. Originally, this Hulkbuster Hot Toys figure was going to fit a portion of like Iron Man's armor.
Right.
They are redesigning it. They've delayed it so that you literally could put a freaking Iron Man figure inside of the thing.
That's incredible. That is
full Iron Man figure inside of this.
Iron Man inside.
That's insane. This was announced ages ago, before Age of Ultron even came out. This was announced, and it's been delayed, so that they can do this redesign, so that they can actually get a figure in here. This is insane. Now, this, if I recall correctly, is like a $900 piece. I don't know whether or not they're changing the. I'm guessing they're not going to change the price. I would imagine that they would announce if they were. So you're probably now getting more bang for your buck if they are truly going to keep the price, but are now having it so that you can put in a full 1/6 scale Iron Man figure inside of this Hulkbuster.
Yeah, that's incredible. That price though is woohoo.
You know what, man?
That's a mortgage payment for some folks.
There you go.
Definitely not in Jersey or New York, or California for that matter. But you hit the Midwest and the South, that's a mortgage payment.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything. So this is a busy time of year. This is the time of year when San Diego's happening. San Diego Comic-Con is the week after next. It begins Thursday, goes through Sunday. There's going to be a lot of news. A lot of exclusives.
We'll probably. I think we have a show that weekend too.
I have to double check the calendar. That might be that would be the next show, right? Because it's not next weekend, but the weekend after. I think you're right. So that works out. So we'll be having a show.
We're most likely having a show tomorrow night, and then we will also probably try to do something at the barbecue next weekend with the whole crew, the Tri-State crew,
right?
Tri-State Vipers. But that's up to them. If they want, like we did last year. Last year that was like literally our first attempt at just sitting down and chatting in a podcast type of way.
It was, and that was our first broadcast.
That shit was off the wall horrible. Not that we're any better, but we literally were just like doing nothing.
Everybody's got to have a beginning.
So. Hopefully we got a little better, but again, that won't be any. That'll just be throwing a cell phone on the table with the audio recorder on.
Yeah, it won't be like an actual official show. But yeah, the next show definitely. We're hoping to do something tomorrow night. It's going to depend on some guest availability, but other than that,
that could be a big special guest, some Dr. Wu special guest type of shit.
Yeah, if you're a Transformers fan, specifically third party, but let's hope that we can make that happen. We're aiming to try to make that happen for tomorrow. And
7 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Pacific. And then the next official show will be San Diego Comic-Con weekend.
Yep. So, all right, let's get right to it. Be sure to check out our website, theplasticempire.com. Check us out on Facebook. theplasticempire.com. Skype, hit us up there during the live show. You could chat with us and other fans of the show. TPE at theplasticempire.com is our Skype. On Instagram, The Plastic Empire, one word. Hit us up on Twitter, _Plastic Empire _. And obviously our email is TPE at theplasticempire.com. So you can reach out to us on any of those mediums. Again, we want to shout out Big Boy Collectibles, your one-stop shop for G.I. Joe. Constant rotation of new product in and out. Jose is a great guy. Be sure to check him out. BigBoyCollectibles.com. Be sure to follow, like, share, check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, your podcast app, whatever. Search us on there. Subscribe to us. On iTunes, if you can, please give us a rating and a review. That would go a long way in moving us up the ranks there. And again, thanks for the support. Shares are better than likes, right? I haven't said it in a while, but shares are better than likes. So please share. Like us, but share as well. And thanks again for checking us out and sticking with us and listen to us, every other week when we do the shows. It means a lot to us.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we really do appreciate all the support.
Yeah, from the bottom of our heart, thank you. We're glad to, be here bringing some craziness, if you will. Some off the wallness. Unfortunately, Pedro had to take off. And if you just joined us near the end there, unfortunately missed Jason. But be sure, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Kickstarter ends in about 24 hours. 24 hours. At the time he was on, we're about $19,000 there. Throw a pledge down, all right? And
even $20, guys. I mean, even just $20, it gets you one of the figures. It's the price of a movie ticket.
Exactly. At least you get to dip your foot in the pool, and if you like it, you could always join up for Wave 2 and go back and buy Wave 1. But again, Alan, anything you want to shout out there or promote or anything?
No, I mean, well, my website is Plastic Empire /Plastic Stash. Mostly what I'm putting up there these days is just a lot of the podcasts and just news every now and then when we go to conventions and such. So, but otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty much hooked up with you guys. So hopefully we'll be on tomorrow. If not, definitely try to catch us for some type of an impromptu thing from New York at the Tri-State Viper Barbecue next weekend on Saturday. And then the following weekend after that, again, we'll be reporting literally during San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, and this Sunday I'm hoping to be at Garden State Comic Fest. And if I'm able to make it out there, we'll be doing some live videos from our Facebook page. It'll be my first foray with the live. I know you guys did it at JoeCon. I'm excited and looking forward to it. But again,
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
Yeah, again, thank you, everybody. And we'll check you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.